Welcome, guys. We've had the qualifying session for the Canadian Grand Prix, and that was super close. One of the best qualifying sessions we've seen in quite some time, and it's been a fantastic day of racing in Canada. But we'll jump straight into the Q1 session, and it's last place for Valtteri Bottas. It's not been a good weekend for him at all. He's been in the shade of his teammate Sergio Perez, who had a brilliant sprint race weekend, but a mistake on his final run locked the brakes up into turn one. And that was all she wrote for Valtteri. He's just really not got on top of this car so far this weekend. Lance Stroll, home favourite, P21 for him. Another poor qualifying session, outdone by Fernando Alonso again. Says enough. Sergio Perez in P20, a really solid job from him. He can be very, very happy with the work that he'd pulled off over the weekend so far. Starts ahead of his teammate, and that's probably the best he could hope for. Fernando Alonso up in P19. Again, not the best qualifying session for him, but that's kind of where they are at the moment. It's been a horrible session for Alex Albon. His teammate was P10 in that session, and he went out in P18. A really difficult session for Alex Albon. Granted, he didn't take part in the sprint qualifying, missed a good chunk of that FP1, hit the groundhog, didn't he? And it's just been like Groundhog Day for him since then. He's not really been at the races, to be honest with you, which is a little bit unfortunate for him. And then the last of the guys to get knocked out is Esteban Ocon. He's been out qualified by his teammate, who was 3 or 4 places up ahead of him. So, not really very good from Esteban Ocon. He's 17th. As it had, though, it's when we go into Q2, he's only just behind his teammate, Ollie Berman, with not a great Q2 session. Qualified in 16th place, 15th place for Carlos Sainz as well. So not a strong qualifying session as we've seen in the sprint qualifying. So an awful lot of work for him to do in that Williams. We've then seen Pierre Gasly up ahead of him, then followed by Gabi Bortoleto. That's probably where the Audis are. He could have been a position up ahead. Liam Lawson, he'll be disappointed with his qualifying session. P12 has been outdone by his rookie teammate, Arvid Lindblad. Nico Hulkenberg, 11th again, like he was in the sprint qualifying session. Let's get to the main event, or Q3. And the man on pole position, George Russell, pulled it off right at the very last lap. And it's the same gap, exactly the same gap that he had to his teammate in sprint qualifying, 0.68 ahead of Kimi Antonelli, who lines up in second place. He's done it again. He was over the moon with his lap, and probably rightly so, because pre that, it didn't look like he had it enough in it. Kimi Antonelli looked like he'd just sneak it. The first runs, the Mercedes were absolutely miles off. There was a mistake. George Russell aborted his first run, but then, even his second run, he was 2 or 3 tenths off in 4th place, where you thought, this is a bit weird. It's going a bit wrong here for the Mercedes, but George pulled it off when it counted with an absolutely brilliant lap, and he's up ahead of his teammate Kimi Antonelli. And if you're not looking forward to the race, just the fact of what we've seen after the sprint, it'll be super spicy for them. There's nothing to pick between the pair of them. So when it comes to the race, I wouldn't know who to pick between the two of them. But we could get a surprise winner, because we have got mixed conditions, and it's again the 2 McLarens, like we've seen in sprint qualifying. Lando Norris in 3rd, Oscar Piastri in 4th. Norris just had the beating of Oscar Piastri, kind of has like he has all weekend, Lando Norris, but he was not a million miles away. He's half a tenth off second place, so it's such fine margins up at the top. He'll be happier that he was closer to the Mercedes as compared to qualifying. They looked like they had 3 or 4 tenths in them, did the Mercedes, but McLaren have closed that gap when it comes to qualifying. In the race, the McLaren is really good on its tyres, so he's got that to look at as well. Mixed conditions is going to be the surprise one, and it might be just one of them races where you just need to keep your head and get to the end of the race, and you could be the man on the top step. Fourth place, Oscar Piastri. Yeah, I mean, he just got to keep his head in it and make sure he just gets to the end tomorrow. Lewis Hamilton in 5th place, a decent banker lap, but then his second lap, he made a mistake, went wide, touched the grass, and, well, considering there's barely anything to pick between the guys up ahead, small mistakes like that, you know you're not going to make that position up, and he aborted his lap. Then came the 2 Red Bulls. Max Verstappen only just 3 hundredths ahead of Isaac Hadjar, who lines up behind him in 8th place, so 7th place. So a really good session from the 2 Red Bulls in the fact that they probably got the most out of that car. Disappointing, probably because there was probably more in it, but Isaac looked like he would be the one that outqualified Max Verstappen. He was P1 in Q2, and was that just the perfect lap at the wrong time? He needed that lap probably in Q3 because it was a stonking lap to take top spot, and it was like, could we have a surprise here? And Isaac Hadjar taking pole position when we got to at the end of Q2. So really, really impressive job from Isaac Hadjar so far this weekend. Let's hope he gets the reliability unlike we've seen for him this season, but he's put himself in a good position there. Charles Leclerc just said he couldn't get on top of this car. He said it was going to be P8 or in the wall at the end of Q2. So, well, he got P8. I guess that's probably just all she wrote. He's struggled with the brakes all weekend, and clearly the way the car's gone, or the directions he's gone with the car from sprint to qualifying, is not the right direction because it just really hasn't worked for him. And then we've got Arvid Lindblad lying up in 9th place. Another brilliant session from Arvid. He's shown he's, really a massive talent, and well, you could pick up more points from there tomorrow. 10th place, and the final man in qualifying 3 was Franco Colapinto. No surprise he's not further up. That's probably all she wrote, but really, really good lap from Franco Colapinto. He can be very, very happy with his session. He'll just hope that he can pick up that point in the race tomorrow, but it's going to be a long, tricky race tomorrow because like I said, we've got the mixed conditions. So it's going to be spicy up at the front. There could be incident. And so there's one of them races where, with the way that these cars are, everybody's frightened to death to see how these cars will be in the rain, especially with power delivery and how unsure they are of what's actually under their pedal when they press that accelerator. We could be in for a huge surprise, potentially for a race win. But George Russell is in pole position. He puts himself there again, in the best position you need to be in for the race. He'll just hope he can get off cleanly like he did in the sprint race. Both Mercedes got away really well. So have they got on top of their start gremlins? It appears so. We just need a repeat of that, don't they, in the race. McLaren's, I'm sure, will be there to mop up any pieces should there be any mistake from the Mercedes. So let's see how that one runs out. But there we have it. That is the qualifying session done. It should be a brilliant race tomorrow to watch, and join me for the watch along live. I'll be starting about 10 to 9 UK time. So love to have to watch you with me then. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, see you on the next one.